The debate over whether the Irish were the first slaves in the Americas, predating African slaves by nearly a decade, has been ongoing. Slavery, one of humanity's oldest profit-making endeavors, targeted the Irish for centuries, subjecting them to persecution, enslavement, and indentured servitude. Colin Heaton, former soldier, Marine Corps Scout sniper, history professor, historian, and author, delves into the complexities of this issue on this segment of Forgotten History. While some groups argue that Irish slavery under English and British rule was merely voluntary indentured servitude, others challenge this notion. The dispute revolves around the numbers enslaved, particularly during the 17th century before the Act of Union in 1707. Official British legal terminology referred to them as indentured servants, whether they signed contracts willingly to immigrate or were forcibly transported. Those unwillingly sold, including political prisoners, vagrants, convicts, and others deemed undesirable, were not considered indentured. The Irish's introduction to slavery dates back to the Viking raids in 795, continuing through the mid-9th century. These raids targeted Irish settlements, capturing and enslaving inhabitants for ransom or labor. Larger-scale raids targeted monastic towns, such as Armagh and Glendalough, with slaves often taken to Scotland or Iceland. A notable rebellion occurred in 875 when Irish slaves in Iceland revolted, illustrating the harsh conditions they endured. Dublin became a Norse trading centre by 853, with slaves comprising a significant portion of the population. Viking raids persisted until Irish resistance culminated in victories like the Battle of Clontarf in 1014. However, the Norman invasion in 1066 marked a new era of forced servitude, which persisted until slavery's abolition in 1102. Pope Adrian Ivy's authorization for Henry II of England to invade Ireland in 1155 further escalated tensions. The Norman conquest of Ireland introduced new dynamics, with the practice of slavery eventually replaced by serfdom. Yet the Irish faced further displacement and enslavement following events like the Battle of Kinsale in 1601. In the early 17th century, Irish slaves were transported to the Americas, becoming a valuable commodity for English plantation owners. By 1612, the first recorded Irish slaves were sold, marking the beginning of a dark chapter in Irish history. Throughout the century, thousands of Irish men, women, and children were forcibly exported to the Eastern American colonies and Caribbean, with many enduring brutal conditions and exploitation. Oliver Cromwell's ruthless campaigns against the Irish during the English Civil War further exacerbated their plight, with thousands sold into slavery in the Caribbean. The exact numbers remain disputed, but the legacy of Irish slavery underscores a painful chapter in history often overlooked. Despite debates over terminology and historical records, the reality of Irish slavery cannot be denied. Whether as indentured servants or outright slaves, the suffering endured by the Irish echoes through the annals of history, reminding us of the human cost of exploitation and oppression. We trust you found this segment of Forgotten History enlightening. Please consider liking and subscribing for more content, and don't hesitate to share your thoughts and suggestions. Thank you for your engagement. The order of banishment issued by King James I in 1603 or 1604 allowed for the sale and permanent banishment of captured Irish soldiers, marking a significant escalation in the transatlantic slave trade. Over the following decades, tens of thousands of Irish individuals were forcibly transported to the Americas, primarily to serve as laborers on plantations. By the mid-17th century, Irish slaves outnumbered colonists in various regions, with many subjected to harsh conditions and exploitation. The Cromwellian conquest of Ireland in the 1650s led to further atrocities, as thousands of Irish men, women, and children were forcibly exported to the Caribbean and American colonies. Reports indicate that between 1641 and 1652, during the Irish Rebellion, English forces killed over 550,000 Irish individuals and sold an additional 300,000 into slavery. The brutality of this period, exacerbated by figures like Oliver Cromwell, underscores the systemic oppression faced by the Irish people. Despite attempts to downplay or deny the extent of Irish slavery, historical evidence suggests a significant an often overlooked chapter in the transatlantic slave trade. The legacy of Irish enslavement serves as a sobering reminder of the enduring impact of colonialism and exploitation on marginalized communities. As we delve into these forgotten aspects of history, we invite you to continue engaging with us. Like and subscribe to stay informed, and feel free to share your insights and questions. Together, we can uncover the truths of our past and honor the resilience of those who have faced injustice. Thank you for your attention and support.